So I left teaching before it was on trend. My name is Dr. Amy Stewart, and I was a public school teacher for 14 years. And I left in 2019, and we're going to dive into why. So, if you're in teaching, you already know the drill. If you're a parent, just a little bit about this. So, school, public school, at least my experience anyway, is very corporate. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, it's for the kids. It ain't for the kids. All right. So, corporate, as in like, there's only one head. All right. There's only one superintendent. There's only one principal in the building, for the most part. And so when you first get a job, it's pretty easy to get a teaching job. Like you get your teaching degree, you do your student teaching, do everything the state tells you to do, you take the test, then you go for the interview. And especially if you like teach like science or math or something like that, like you're gonna get a job and they're gonna put you in a school. And yeah, and if that's all you want to do, that is wonderful. And that's really what I thought I was going to do, is just be a teacher forever in the classroom. And I was going to be that, like, I taught kids and grandkids, and like that I was going to be just like a community fixture. But at some point, it just wasn't enough for me. I didn't want to be a principal. I tried lateral moves. And even though that I had a master's degree in special education and I was working on my doctorate, I didn't get the job. It was literally a lateral move from an English teacher to a special ed position in my building. And I would later find out, somebody on the interview committee said, I don't know what you did to so-and-so, Miss So-and-so, but I'm sorry, I don't know what you did to Dr. So-and-so, but she doesn't like you. And that's why you didn't get the job. I never even talked to this lady before. And I would later go on to work with her, and she would actually really like me. Anyway, but that kind of stuff happens a lot. Or, you try to get a facilitator job, you try to get a principal job. And the reality of it is a lot of times they already have somebody in mind when they open up that position. They have been grooming somebody, or they hire somebody completely, they hire like a third party like headhunter type thing, and they get somebody else and bring them in, especially if it's for like the biggest high school or it's the superintendent position. Like it's either going to be one of those two things. So by you interviewing, if they didn't already like talk to you about it like a year ago and been grooming you, like you're really just there as a formality, right? So and I'm confident that that does happen in other industries, not just education. But that stuff, it got old. And the other thing is that, as teachers, like, not only don't we have multiple professional degrees, the experience we have. So you figure every year I'm working with 80 to 100 brand new kids. So then I'm also working with almost 160 parents, and that's if they just have the two, right? But I'm talking about step parents and grandparents and everybody else who wants to get in the business, which is fine. But as the years go on, you figure 14 years of that, how many thousands of kids I have experience with. And that experience and that skill set and that insight, it goes unnoticed. And it doesn't matter that we have all of this, knowledge under our belt. It's not rewarded. You get a pay bump based on how long you've been in the school district, but it's not based off how good you are or how like the impact you have on the district. Like you literally just got to show up and you get a raise. And after a while, that can wear on you because you're not paid based off performance. It didn't matter if I had glowing recommendations or a glowing observation or an amazing end of the year evaluation, or I had bad one. Like I was still going to get that check and I was still going to get my raise the next year. And so that's why you do see a lot of teachers go back for another degree, especially if they're women. We love to go back to school. It's the women do that. The guys get that master's degree and get on the fast track to being an administrator. And I'd be really interested to see like a woman educator will stay in a school district, just keep racking up those degrees, right? And stay there and try to ride it out until somebody dies or retires and they can take that facilitator position or that spot over at central office where they're like a content supervisor or something. But the guys, if they can't get that principal position or that dean of students, they move on to another school district. And I ain't even mad at them about it. Like, but because I knew I didn't want to be a principal, my options were very limited. I wanted to try a lateral move, but when I saw that there was still politics even in a lateral move in a special ed position, that I don't care what anybody says, special ed jobs are rough because you have to do all the paperwork and you're still expected to be in class and in meetings. The work they talk about English teachers taking a lot of work home and papers are grade is nothing compared to a special ed teacher because they have to come in the summer to do meetings because, oh, it's been a year. It's time for the IEP meeting. Like what? There's no way. But that was another like all of that kind of boiled over. Like I wasn't feeling fulfilled. I didn't feel like I was being rewarded for my good works. I was getting pulled in the office because I had a spaghetti strap tank top on after school. Like the lights were off, the kids were gone. Like it was really hot. I was melting. I had a sweater on, took the sweater off, draped it over me as I was standing in the hallway talking to a colleague. The deputy superintendent walks by, sees me. The next day, I'm getting pulled in the office by the principal, talking about, you had on a tank top yesterday. I did. I did. I did have a tank top on. My shoulder was showing. I didn't realize my shoulder was so controversial, but apparently it was worth a meeting, worth wasting my time. Um, Getting pulled in the office because like we had laptop carts, right? At my one school, we had two of them specifically for the English department. And I could see if other people used them, but like nobody used them unless there was like an essay that they had to write or like a test and they had to type it. But for the most part, those laptop carts sat in the library. And the rule was you couldn't check them out for more than 2 days in a row. No problem. I'm going to check out laptop cart A on Monday, Tuesday. I'm going to check out laptop cart B on Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, we usually have like a spelling test, vocabulary quiz. So I didn't need the computers for those days, right? And I did that all the time. But one time I clicked the wrong button and apparently checked out laptop cart A for 3 days in a row. And instead of just saying, hey, Amy, it looks like you checked it out too many days. Now, nobody was using the carts. Do you know I got pulled down in the office for that? I got pulled down in the office because I checked it out 3 days in a row instead of checking out laptop cart B. Laptop cart B was still in the library. One time, and this might have been the same incident where I brought the laptop cart. It's Tuesday, right? So I bring laptop cart A back to the library. Librarian is not there. So I leave it by the door, plug it in, leave it by the door. In the morning, I come to get laptop cart B because now it's my third day, right? She's not there. What do? Do I leave laptop cart A because I don't want to get reprimanded, right? Or do I just not have laptops for the lesson that I had planned for today, for a cart that I had checked out? Like, that's the kind of stuff that got like that. I was over it. I was over y'all treating me like I'm a child. And it's not in every building, but it's in a lot of them. So you want to know why I quit? I just got tired of being treated like a child.